Hello, I'm Drake. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, by viewer request, we're going to be talking about the Norse god Loki, so stay tuned. Okay, so, as I said in the opening, I've been getting a lot of requests for this one. People want me to talk about Loki. They've heard that my wife primarily works with Loki, and naturally working with Odin in the Norse, I've worked with him a bit myself. Now, there's a lot of videos here on YouTube talking about Loki, god of fire, Loki the trickster, and then covering many of the myths about Loki. And part of me was going to do that with this video. I really was. I was going to go talk about the Lokis Fun. I was going to talk about Loki's children. I was going to talk about how Loki got the wall around Asgard rebuilt. I was going to talk about how I believe Loki's misunderstood. And I believe him and Odin had far more of a plan than we see in the myths. However, that said, those would all make great videos in their own right. And like I said, there's so much information on Loki already out there. I wanted to do something a little different. So I actually decided for this video, we're going to set aside the myths and we're going to talk about my personal experiences with Loki, how he and I interact, and what our friendship has become to be, and talk about some of the things he's laid out that he would like to do with me in the future, as him and I was actually discussing doing this video. So let's get started. Well, first off, I do see Loki as a god of fire, though like most of the other, well, all the Norse entities, I don't really view these entities as god of insert label here. When you read through the Eddas, what you're going to find is these entities are very complex, just like we are. They have their personalities, they have areas that interest them, but they don't have a limitation. They're not necessarily god of insert something random here just because we're trying to place a label on it. And I think that's one of the things that really drew me to Norse mythology early on, and I do enjoy that. I mean, it is true, we can use these labels as terminologies to understand that this is an area of this entity's personality that they really do focus on. But at the end of the day, they can really help you with any aspect of your life if you want to approach them. Now, one of the things I've enjoyed about Loki over the years is his cunning. I've always enjoyed someone who can outthink another person. That's one reason I enjoy chess. That's one reason I enjoy poker. It was always the mental game for me. That's always what I was in there for. So when I got a chance to start working with Loki, yeah, I knew he was a trickster. And that's what you always hear. He's a trickster. You got to watch out for him. I even heard, he's a liar. Don't trust anything he says. Well, honestly, he's never lied to me in so much as a lie. He has pulled a few pranks. He has done the trickster thing. But more often than not, it comes across as a cunning. And by cunning, I mean he actually will twist the words and answers in order to guide me to a result and to get me to think about a problem in a direction I hadn't before. And in those cases, I'm very grateful, and he does help me get really quick results just because he answers the question in a way where I think I'm going over here. And he answers the question, somehow I end up over here on Pluto, but I start thinking about the problem in a different way, and it's like, wait a minute, the answer's been here in front of me this whole time. And yeah, he didn't give me a straight answer, but he led me to the answer in a way that was far more productive and far more advantageous than the direction I was looking. And I really enjoyed that about him. And it can get frustrating. It can, don't get me wrong. But he's also a lot of fun about it. Now, that said, when you're working with Loki, you better be ready for some shenanigans. Oh my God, the shenanigans. He will cause pranks and random things to happen. He has caused my car not to start. I get out, I check everything, everything's fine, I get back in. It starts first try, no problem. He's just cackling and laughing, having a big old time. A few times he has shifted and changed the flavor of my coffee. Not cool, dude. Not cool. Still not okay with that. But I get it. It's a prank and he has fun and he does turn it back, thankfully. He's also caused certain issues, like if I'm drinking ice water, he will actually cause the ice to basically not cool the water. Which I'm still trying to figure out how he does that one. That one's pretty freaking wild. Now, that said, one thing that I do thank Loki for, he's become family at this point. My wife views herself as a daughter of Loki, and he's always around. So anytime I get down, and I'm just not in the mood for something, or I'm depressed, just in a funk. We've all been there. We get there. The dude steps in, and he won't let me stay in a funk. He will find a way to break the monotony and get me laughing again. Bring me back to that point that most people know me as. Because in my day-to-day life, I'm a pretty fun guy. I'm usually smiling, cracking jokes. As I mentioned in, I think, a previous video, I am a parrot-headed Jimmy Buffett fan. So that kind of easygoing, smiling lifestyle is something I really do enjoy. And he really helps me find that when I get into a funk. And that's one of the things I am most thankful for him on. He just always has this way, no matter how bad a day I'm having, he can flip it and turn it around. Now, part of that fun-loving lifestyle that Loki has brought to me, he also brings chaos. But when he brings chaos, one thing is, for me at least, he taught me to enjoy the chaos. Because much like Coralegra or Zargaroth, change is inevitable. Change will come. Change is necessary. Change is how we grow. Change is how we better ourselves. That change is not always easy. That change can be risky. And Loki is all about pushing that envelope, accepting those changes, thinking on your feet, moving, dodging, dipping, ducking, diving, getting out of the way in any way possible, while at the same time maintaining your footing and constantly moving forward to your goals. Now, yes, this kind of an attitude, this direct attitude, does rub people the wrong way sometimes. And diving headlong into a chaotic world where everything's changing and the control you have is the ability to adapt and roll with the change, as opposed to trying to piece the world together and put it all into one controlled manner, isn't something a lot of people can really process. But he has taught me this, and he's definitely taught me this when it comes to my wife. My wife is one of those people, no matter how crazy stuff gets, she's just like this little point of calm. And she has this smile about her and this laugh that she can just brighten the day. And this is something she got from Loki. Hands down. It's no wonder those two work together so well. And it takes a lot to rattle her. And when she gets rattled, she recovers quick. I thank both of them for teaching me this concept of being able to work within this chaos and becoming that eye of that storm, and constantly being able to adapt to the situation and enjoy life. Life is short, people. It really is. I mean, okay, dragons got long lives. Long lives. We don't. So we need to enjoy what we got while we're here, and we need to try and enjoy it to the fullest that we can. Now, that we do have responsibilities. We do have things we have to do. That's understood. We also are responsible for enjoying our life. And I think in a lot of ways, we've overcomplicated how we enjoy life. And that's something Loki has taught me. You can enjoy life by sitting down, laughing with a friend, having a conversation, relaxing, turn on the TV. I know my grandfather referred to it as an ignorant box. But, I mean, granted, if that's all you ever do, you're probably not going to get nowhere. But, at the same time, it's a great thing to be able to queue up something, watch a mystery, watch a comedy, and relax for an hour or two. Perhaps take the time to sit and watch it with your family. Sit down, play a board game, and laugh. Make a fool of yourself. Go karaokeing. You know, people take themselves too serious. I sing like a dying cat. I really do. But I have gone to karaoke bars, and they even hoot and holler for a guy like me who sings like a dying cat. It's about getting out there and having fun, people. And if you're working with Loki, be ready for the chaos. The chaos will come, you can guarantee it. And he will light a fire under your ass to get you moving in life. There's no doubt about that. But he will also bring that change, that transformation, that growth that fire is well known for. But he's also going to push you to enjoy life. And as long as you're willing to embrace that and move and constantly adapt and really seek to enjoy that life, you're really going to enjoy your time working with Loki. And he will seek to help you as much as possible. Now, what happens if you was to fight that? Well, if you were to become an old stick-in-the-mud prude, Loki would not be an entity I would want to work with, because he will take that as a challenge. He will not look and be, oh, well, this guy's boring, I'm going to wander off over here. No. Loki, once you contact him, if you think you can be that boring old prude and he's going to wander off, don't contact him, because he's going to take that as a challenge and he will throw everything he has at you to disrupt what you view as reality and try to shake it up. And he will just grab a hold of your whole world and just start shaking it like a margarita in a shaker until his drink is done. And he will sit back and sip it while you try to recover from whatever the hell just happened. And he will smile and he will laugh. And he will sit back and watch until the time when you're ready to start accepting that change, start having some fun, and start going with the flow. And when that happens, he'll happily step in to help you as well. So I do encourage you, if you have ever been interested in working with Loki, to reach out to him. Use the hailing right that we have here on this channel. It's a great way to reach out to him. Write your own little hailing to Loki. Meditate on him. Contact him. And if you, honestly, all you need to contact him is just intone his name a few times, up to 9. But I find that if you intone his name 2 or 3 times, he will show up. He's not shy at all. He's always in a mood to have fun and meet new people. So therefore, yeah, when you put out a call to him, he will show up, and he will show up quickly. Just be ready to accept the consequences of a good time. We've all been there. We know what it's like to party hard, and we know what the morning after can be like. And some of us, we don't give up the partying, we just learn how to balance it. And Loki and working with him is kind of the same thing. So, yeah, reach out, have a good time working with this entity. Loki, god of fire, blood brother to Odin, traveling companion to Thor, wonderful entity to work with, and very, very misunderstood in my opinion, which is something I plan to do a video on in the future. Until then, I'm Drake, this has been Working Dragon Mystic, and I'll see you next time.